We eliminated in '06 one of the most restrictive abortion bans that had ever been proposed across the country. And it's interesting because we need to remind everybody in South Dakota that we have the most restrictive abortion laws already. We have parental notification, we have mandatory waiting period, and in addition to that, we have abortions prohibited after the first trimester. And we also have one of the lowest abortion rates in the country. And so we continue to see this battle being fought in our state. We again are confident that the people of South Dakota will read carefully this initiative and find out what it really says. And we have given all the media people a copy of that initiative and hope they will read it carefully to see what it really says, so that when the people in the fall, if this is put on the ballot, will know exactly what the initiative does. Now, we have heard that it does have exceptions for rape and incest. And I would ask you to read carefully that language to be sure that it does have exceptions for rape and incest. But I would also ask you to read it very carefully, because it is the cruelest and most callous approach to what it does to victims of rape and incest. It puts them through a bureaucratic process that is almost unforgivable in our eyes in terms of those kinds of victims, and then we victimize them again. It is interesting that the other side talks about how it is supporting a ban with exceptions for rape and incest and the health of the woman. And yet, their own people will tell you that they don't support this ban. They are only doing this because they want to do one thing: get it on, get it passed, and then come in and take out the exceptions. And then we'll be back to where we were with the total ban that we had in '06. I think it is the most chilling piece of legislation, proposed legislation, that I have read when it comes to the medical profession and your relationship with your doctor, my relationship with my doctor. I also think it's political gamemanship on the other part, on the side of the other group. They don't really care about this. They're doing this just simply to pass and then come back and take out all the exceptions. And there's documentation to show that that is exactly what their agenda is. I think it makes South Dakota a political pawn. I resented that last time, and we resent it again this time. It is unfortunate that these people will not come to the table. They will not really work as a group with all of us to figure out a way to end unintended pregnancies. They won't work on having good sex education, which could include abstinence, family planning. No, instead we'll spend our time and our money fighting another battle like this when the money could be better spent working to end unintended pregnancies. So we are only asking that everybody read very carefully what this initiative says before they sign it. And we're asking the media and everybody else to read it very carefully and to report accurately what's in the initiative. And then finally, we're hoping that the people of South Dakota will stand up and say we don't want government intrusion in our lives, and we don't want outside people using us.
So the question is, what message do you really take from the vote, from the last vote? I mean,
But the message you take, in my opinion, is that they aren't willing to listen to what the people say, which is true of those on the, on that issue that you raised.
Jan, do you think this one is going to be a tougher initiative to defeat or to work against because it does have the exceptions for rape or incest?
Well, first of all, we'd like you to make sure you know that there are exceptions for rape and incest, because they can say that, and I just think they're being less than honest with the people of South Dakota if you read that carefully. If you read what those victims have to go through based on their so-called language, it'd be different if they said there is an exception for rape and incest and left it at that. But no, look at all the additional language they threw in there. And again, I'm back to, it's just less than honest with the people of South Dakota if you read everything we gave you in that packet from the outside sources saying this, we support South Dakota doing this because then we're going to come back and take the exceptions out.